halftime at Rockhurst University. The Hawks 44, the Cardinal men 38. The Cardinals shooting 57% in the first half, and Rockhurst 50%. But it's the Hawks that lead it here by 6 at halftime. Darlene Bailey is the Director of Athletics at Williams Jewell College. Joins us now on the Hyvee halftime report, and welcome.
Thanks, Rick.
You hear me okay? It's a little loud in the gym
tonight.
Yeah,
I can hear you all right. I'm good.
All right. The Cardinal women eliminated tonight. The Cardinal men are playing here knowing it's their last game of the year, so we know after the next 20 minutes of basketball we're done for the year.
We are. I know it's hard to believe that the season went so quickly, and we always have close games when we come to Rockhurst, and we always fight down to the end, but it is unfortunate that our teams are not going to be in postseason this year.
These have been 2 good basketball games. The women's game was good. This has been a good first half.
They have. I got to the women's game about halfway through the first quarter, and we were down, and we had a nice little run back there to come close, and then just kept fighting, and I thought we were going to get them, and we just didn't quite make it.
This is, again, one of those transition periods where we've got a lot of sports going on. I don't know where you want to start, but I'm going to pick swimming to talk about Madeline Allen and Paige Meredith qualifying for the NCAA National Meet.
It's exciting when you qualify for nationals. It's a really interesting process as coaches watch times, and you have to qualify by time, and they don't take everybody, and so there's a certain number of slots, and the coaches are watching to see if our students are going to qualify, and we were hoping we were going to get 3. We ended up with 2. And we had it all came down to the wire with the last minute about who qualifies from other parts of the country. But it is exciting to have 2 national qualifiers for a swimming program.
And for the second time, Paige Meredith qualifies.
Yes.
And she qualifies this year in 3 events. Has she kind of become the face of Jewell swimming?
Oh, I think so. This is the 5th year of our program. And, we've grown and we've tried to get better every year. And having more students go to nationals is certainly part of that, and having someone qualify in 3 events. She definitely, I believe, is our best all-around female swimmer, and that's what you build your program on for the future, is trying to get students like that to be part of your program, and that recruits other ones like them.
We should also mention that on the men's side, Juan Pedro Granado is an alternate, may work his way into the swimming meet, but right now is just an alternate on the men's side.
Right, yeah, Joao was the other one that we really hoped was going to sneak in with a spot, but it just didn't quite happen.
Well, the other big event that's going on this weekend, the Indoor Track and Field Championships in Kenosha, and the Cardinal indoor teams, especially the women's team, they've had a nice indoor season.
They have. They've had a lot of personal bests. They've become more competitive all the time. And I was talking to Coach Eisenhower this afternoon, and he's really excited to see about what they can do. And I know that Coach Bart, one of our assistant coach, he said, I just want to be there right now and get the meet started. So they're excited. They work hard every day with those kids, and they think that they're going to do well, and the kids are excited. And it's conference. I mean, that's what they work toward the entire year, is the conference meet, to see how well that they stack up against others in the league, and I think they'll be all right.
Yeah, I think so too, and especially as we said on the women's side, there have been some great performances. It seems like we set school records. We've done it right and left this year in the indoor season. The conference indoors in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Last year it was in Indianapolis, and just visiting here with some of the people at Rockhurst, and the statement was made that they are wondering why more championships aren't kind of held in the middle of the conference. St. Louis was mentioned. Of course, basketball is there, but what is the discussion? What is the GLVC's, criteria for awarding those?
Sure. Well, part of it is not part of it. A lot of it is facility availability. Right now, there are only 2 institutions in the conference that can host the indoor meet on their campus. And, of course, if you host it on your campus, there's no rental fee. And so we're kind of stuck with the indoor rotating between UIndy and Wisconsin Parkside. Certainly to be able to host an event like that would be wonderful, but you do get into a lot of cost factors when you have to rent a facility. In swimming, we really don't have any institution that can host a swim meet on their campus, and so we do look to rent facilities. We're at a very, very nice high school facility right now in Crawfordsville, Indiana. Crawfordsville, and I'm not going to get all of my suburbs of Indianapolis correct, but that's an area north of Indianapolis that really wants to host a lot of events. We had the baseball tournament there last year, which was at a nice facility. The softball tournament is still in Peoria, but there's been some noise about it moving to the Crawfordsville area. So part of it is what kind of a good rental arrangement we can get, favorable hotel rooms, those kinds of things. Certainly we would like to see more championships coming further west so we don't have to travel as far. And to be able to have the basketball tournament in St. Louis is nice because that is a central location. Unfortunately, that's not one that we've qualified for the last couple of years, but St. Louis really is the true center of our conference now with the way things that have shifted geographically since we've been in the league.
Well, I can only remember 2 events, conference championship events, tennis and track and field being held here in Kansas City. There certainly have been more, but I can't think of them right at the moment. And we did that last year. Rockhurst and Jewell kind of hosted those. The track meet at Jewell, of course. This year tennis moves. Track will be at Jewell, so again on the western side of the conference.
Right, and Rockhurst has typically hosted soccer because they've been very good. Soccer is at the side of the highest seeded team. Volleyball is at a neutral site, again, more towards the center of the conference. So it would be nice to host more, but we have been really fortunate and really honored to be able to host the track meet the last couple of years, and are looking forward to doing that again.
Darlene Bailey joins us at halftime. The Cardinal men are down to Rockhurst 44-38. You mentioned baseball and softball. They have started their seasons. I think this is the 3rd weekend for softball, the 2nd for baseball.
Yes, baseball had a rough start last weekend down in Cameron. Very good team, so we came away from that weekend without a win, but I think that it was an opportunity for Mike to learn an awful lot about his team, and certainly they're looking forward to this weekend. They're down in Texas playing, I think, 4 games again.
Yes.
And they're going to do something kind of fun. We always hope that our students have the opportunity to see other things when they go somewhere, and they're actually going to go to a Dallas Mavericks game. So that, I don't know which night, but I heard about that today. And,
that's neat.
And that's fun. You sometimes you never know whether the student athletes have been to a place before, but if we are somewhere, we certainly want them to take advantage of something culturally if they have the opportunity. And I guess it just so happens that we had a connection to get some tickets. Certainly we still had to pay for them, but get some tickets to an NBA game. And there's probably several kids on our team that have never been to an NBA game. So that's going to be fun for them, as well as getting some more baseball in some good weather. Now, when I hear that's going to be 70 degrees at home this weekend, you wonder why you go south, but our field's not ready. So we hope that it is ready, and when we do get to play at home in a couple of weeks, that we have good weather.
Darlene, softball has been on the road, but when they come home, they'll have a lot of new things to look at. The facilities improvements at softball are dramatic.
Yes, it's really, really exciting. It's really coming together. We still have a little bit of landscaping to do, but the new building, which holds a team room, restroom facilities, coach's office, is really, really nice, and something that has been needed for a long time to be able to have a good, safe place for our student athletes to change their clothes and use the restroom, and for our fans. And then the other thing we've done is make the field much more accessible. So it's much more fan accessible. We're going to have some parking challenges this spring as we do the landscaping and get the grass to grow back and that kind of thing. So we may have to make a few little changes with parking, but overall it's going to be a really nice change to our facility that our student athletes are going to benefit from every day.
Well, I think one of the things fans will probably miss when they want to sit right behind home plate, they won't get to do that Woodstock mudslide thing to get down there.
That's right. You
and we know about that.
I have done that, and there have been times that I have taken my shoes off to try to make sure that I did not fall. And so, yes, we have sidewalk that you can now access the field, and that really makes a nice difference. Absolutely.
Men's and women's tennis, they'll have their hands full this weekend. They're playing up in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. South Dakota State's on the schedule. A couple of other big names. University of North Dakota, then Paul Warstall, men's and women's tennis.
Yeah, we're coming out to shoot and playing some Division I teams, and I think that's going to be a nice trip for us, certainly to go up in competition a little bit before you start your conference season. And I think that's going to be a nice trip for our kids, just to see a little bit different part of the country as well.
How about golf? Last but not least, what is golf up to at this time of year?
Golf played a little bit more the bulk of their season in the fall this year, trying something a little bit different to play more matches in the fall when the weather's typically better. So they're getting a little bit later start to the spring. They'll both have, I believe, 4 tournaments before they play their conference tournament. So they are not quite yet underway, and I want to say 2 or 3 weeks before we have a golf tournament, but they'll be playing soon.
I think that covers all the spring sports.
I think the only thing we didn't talk about, which is kind of fun with softball, is they're actually going to play in an indoor facility this weekend up in Illinois. So I'll be interested to hear how that goes. We don't have to worry about them getting rained out, but there are some nuances certainly to playing softball indoors. So that ought to be fun for them.
That should be fun. I guess one thing we need to talk about real quickly, did you have a chance to meet the new president, and can you give us kind of a scouting report?
Sure. Dr. Elizabeth McLeod-Walls was on our campus again last Friday to meet the entire campus. I had the opportunity to meet her during the interview process, but she was back for a meet and greet last Friday, and that went really, really well. She brought her husband, Craig, with her, and they were able to meet the campus community, and I think she's certainly excited about becoming part of our campus later this summer, and she'll have a couple of other visits as we get closer, but for now we're going to finish out the year with Dr. Salee, and as he prepares for his retirement, he does count down the days on an app on his phone. So I had a meeting with him this morning, and he told me that as we were getting started, and I said, well, I hope it doesn't have anything to do with me, and he said no. So he's great, and I'm going to miss him a lot, but we are looking forward to the future.
Dr. Darlene Bailey, we covered a lot of territory there. Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on the Hyvee Halftime Report. Cardinals down here at Rockhurst, and the second half about ready to get started.